Welcome to Success Superstars and my special guest, Kiata Johnson, who's joining us today with an amazing story about her success. Kiata, welcome.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited for the audience to hear your story. And it's going to start off on a sad note, I know. Last year, you sold 12 transactions, and this year you've already pretty much met that. But last year you were off for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
You had a tragic event in your life. You lost your son.
I did, yeah. I was off for 4 months. Had a pretty normal pregnancy, and then maybe early April, I was put on strict bed rest and was admitted into the hospital out of fears of my son coming early. I was on bed rest for probably about a week before I went ahead and went into labor. So Cannon was born at 26 and a half weeks. He was a little over 6 months, and he weighed in under 2 pounds. And he was just incredible. So we kind of had to shift everything because he was in the NICU for 73 days. So for those 2.5 months, I was at the NICU probably 3 times a day, every single day. So it was very, very challenging to say the least. But that time, I am very grateful for the time I had with him. He did pass away in June of last year. He had just a normal day, and he had pneumonia, aspiration pneumonia, and he was gone very quickly. But you know what? I never got the chance to really thank my JPAR family, JP, my mentor at the time, all the mentees. I was a new agent. I had just joined JPAR in May the previous year. So it was before a year. And they really rallied around me, Cannon's Memorial, everything. You guys the support was just phenomenal. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm so sorry for your loss, and
Yeah.
loss continued to happen for you. You lost your grandfather during that same period.
I did, yeah. Cannon passed in June, and my grandfather passed away in September. And he lived in Chicago, so we had to go to Chicago for the funeral and that sort. So last year was really tough on my family. I was, just dealing with the bed rest and everything from Cannon. I was probably off work. I was working, but I wasn't really mentally and physically and emotionally there to be able to really work for about 4 months.
Yeah, I can't imagine. And what's super amazing that I'd like the audience to hear is yet you still helped 12 families buy, sell, or invest in real estate. And this year you've already matched that number, and it's only near the end of April. So how did you? Obviously, you did this work to honor him and to honor your son and to honor your grandfather, but there was also a graduation that you had, and you wanted to honor your daughter as well.
There was, yes. So my oldest daughter, Taylor, she graduated from college. She got her bachelor's from Tarleton State, and she graduated in August of last year. So that kind of was a turning point, kind of the kick in the butt, like, we got to keep moving forward. My daughters are watching me. I have a business to run. I have family. I have support around me. I don't want to stay in the grief in the place that I'm at. So we moved forward. She graduated. We had her awesome party here, and she's back. She's actually got her first real job. She works as a Malou therapist at Children's Hospital. So I'm super proud of her. So. Oh
yeah, you got to be super proud. So what could you share with the audience, going through such tragedy and such adversity? Obviously you took the time you needed, but how did you get your composure back? How did you get your sea legs back? How did you get back into action?
For me, my support system was so strong. So even on the days I couldn't really, I just didn't want to get up, they rallied around me. My clients, the referrals kept coming in. My clients understood, and they were sensitive to my needs at the time. So I had that push to do a good job. I knew Canton was in a better place, and I knew that
Mhm.
I had a job that I enjoyed and that I loved, and I
Mhm.
found comfort and enjoyment in seeing people smile, providing
Yeah.
shelter, home, and those things for families. So
Yeah. So that kept you moving forward.
it did, one foot in front of the other. And those days I didn't feel like I could get up and do it. I had the laptop in the bed with me, and I pushed my way through it that way. So
Yeah.
that personal interaction with clients, it really went a long way.
Well, you're an inspiration to me and inspiration to so many others. And to add some significance to what you're doing, besides honoring your son and your grandfather, for every two homes that are sold, one job is created.
Yeah.
So with your 12 sales last year, you helped sustain 6 jobs in the local economy, and you're doing the same thing right now. So, what you're doing makes a difference, and it makes a difference to honor your son. So
Yeah.
thanks for sharing that. I know that was a tough story to share,
Yeah, let
but
me
I
show
think
you guys my son. This is one of the pictures I have of Cannon in my office. I don't know if y'all can see it.
yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Yep, that was him.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, so let's fast forward, and now it's 2020, and we're now you've been thrown another challenge, in front of you, and um, the COVID-19 has come, and yet you've still equaled your last year number, and it's only the end of April. What are the things that you've had to pivot? What are the things you've had to change to stay productive during this time?
Definitely, being at home full time has been an adjustment.
Hmm.
I was used to either being at our office in Arlington or just interacting with clients out in the open on a day-to-day basis. So I've been doing a lot more Zoom and FaceTime buyer consults, um, a lot of over the phone interaction from the sofa or from the home office. So
Yeah. And how have your clients adapted to that new way of consulting and talking and
they have, and I think they have because they're, for the most part, they're in the house too.
right?
So I think I'm more relatable,
Hmm.
and they kind of see that I'm still there to meet their needs.
Yeah. Now I know many of our associates are doing what we call virtual open houses, where they're scheduled on a Saturday or Sunday at a specific time, and the agent is hosting basically a virtual walkthrough of the property. Have you tried that?
I actually have one coming up this weekend for a new listing that I have in Dallas.
Oh, good.
So this will be my first go round. So I'm excited to see. Open houses have been a big part of my business since the very beginning. I like doing open houses, and I still do them today. So this will be
Yeah.
my first virtual open house though.
Well, I'm going to connect you with a couple of other agents who are having a wild success doing these virtual open houses. They're treating them just like they're there in a sense, but they're hosting like we are right now.
Okay.
They're sharing through the screen the actual virtual tour and commenting. They're having people come in, and then they're sending it to the neighbors and others who weren't able to attend afterwards. So it's actually, some of them have told me they're more productive.
Oh, awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
can't wait.
Yeah. So what's the number one question consumers are asking you today?
The number one question is probably, is now a good time to buy or sell? I probably get asked that every
Yeah.
week, every few days. Everyone wants to know, should I
Is it
wait? Is now a good
yeah,
time to buy or sell? So
good time to buy, sell, or invest? I know we've had some investors start to come out. So I know we have a great resource called Keeping Current Matters, and I know each individual has a unique situation, but how do you advise them? Does it depend on their situation, or how do you advise
definitely,
them?
definitely depends on their situation, because as we know, each situation is different. So that's mainly what I do. I try to assess the situation, talk it through with them, and depending on their situation, then we kind of go from there.
Yeah. Yeah. Because some may be fully employed. And I know, like, my son just called me from San Francisco, and he just got a new job and a raise.
Oh
So,
wow.
so he's in a different position than, maybe someone else who either just got furloughed or laid off. And so
Correct.
each situation is so unique.
Correct.
Um, well, as we wrap up, this episode of Success Superstars, I am so inspired by your story. I can't imagine what you've gone through and how you've overcome it. What's the one or two things you'd like to leave the audience with?
The one, let's see. I guess the one thing that I would like to say is, you know, with real estate and with life, sometimes we can't control the things that happen, even as we're seeing and learning with the pandemic. We have to learn to adjust and adapt to whatever life throws our way. My son, first birthday would have been April 10th, which was just a few weeks ago, and couldn't do some of the things I had planned, whether he was here or celebrating, you know, at his graveside, but it was still a joyous day, you know? So I think if you're in this business and you have goals set, if something happens and it gets you a little bit off track, at your own time, get your head back in the game and just try to hit that goal. So no, I didn't hit my goal last year of 20 transactions and getting Ruby, but I'm well on my way this year.
You're well on your way there. And even with what you went through last year, helping 12 families buy, sell, or invest is very amazing accomplishment. So I'm so inspired by your stories. Thanks for sharing it today.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
I know that was tough, but I think a lot of people will benefit from hearing your story and in your son's honor. With that, we'll wrap up and we'll see you soon on another episode of Success Superstars.